Topic for today is audit of intangible assets. Class, our topic for today is audit of intangible assets. This topic is relatively simple because yung concepts and techniques na natutunan natin in audit of PPE, yun lang din yung i-apply natin sa audit of intangible assets. Okay? Now, like what I always say, ang assumption ko is napanood mo na yung video na related in FAR. Okay? So, dapat alam mo na yung accounting for intangible assets. Alright? In the board exam, for intangible assets, ang focus is on two things. Amortization and impairment. So, dyan magre-revolve yung discussion natin for today. Okay? So, let's have a very quick review of intangible assets. Okay, so, we have patent, trademark, copyright, franchise, goodwill, and then yung mga minor intangible assets, nilagay ko sa others, licensing agreement, website, customer list, computer software, and lease rights. Ayan, yung intangible assets natin. Now, for each of these, tingnan natin, alin dyan yung subject to amortization and subject to impairment. Start muna tayo with patent. Sir, subject ba sa amortization yung patent? Answer is yes. Yung magiging basis mo dyan, i-amortize mo siya over useful life versus legal life, whichever is shorter. Okay? Now, in the Philippines, pag nag-register ka ng patent sa Intellectual Property Office, bibigyan ka nun ng legal life na 20 years. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, sa problem, titignan mo. Yung useful life, compare mo sa legal life, which is 20 years, and then, whichever is shorter, dun mo i-amortize yung patent. And also, class, usually sa mga intangible assets na yan, straight line method yung ginagamit. Okay? Unless, kayang ipakita yung pattern of benefits. Okay, for example, ipapakita kung how much yung sales per year. O pwedeng ang basis mo yung sales per year. Okay? Pag hindi naman, straight line method lang ang ginagamit natin for amortization. Okay? Sige. Now, sir, subject to impairment ba yung patent? Actually, class, lahat naman ng intangible asset subject to impairment. Okay? Ngayon, dalawa lang yan. If definite yung useful life, for example, yung patent, definite yung life niyan kasi may 20 years tayo. Magte-test ka lang for impairment kapag may indicators na impaired siya. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin na required? Yung required na yan, ibig sabihin niyang class, magte-test ka ng impairment whether merong indicators or wala. Okay? So, applicable yan dun sa mga indefinite useful life. Okay? Since yung patent has a definite useful life, pag may indicators, tetest mo yan for impairment. Okay, let's go to trademark. Sir, subject to amortization ba yan? Actually, class, yung legal life ng trademark in the Philippines is 10 years. Kaya lang auto-renewal yan. Sobrang dali lang i-renew yan. Kaya hindi na siya tinetest for or hindi na siya ina-amortize. Okay? Pero since indefinite yung life niyan, okay, pag hindi definite, ibig sabihin indefinite, required ka sa impairment testing. Again, every December 31, whether may indicator or wala, itetest mo yun for impairment. Okay? So again, for patent, definite life, therefore, test mo pag may indicator. Trademark, indefinite life kasi auto-renewal, then required yan for impairment testing. Copyright is also subject to amortization. Okay? Therefore, itest mo siya pag may indicator. Okay? So, ayan. Next natin is franchise. For the franchise, ang point of view niyan is the franchisee. Okay? So, right to operate the franchise. Subject to amortization din yan. So, itest mo pag may indicator. Let's go to goodwill. Sa goodwill naman, class, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is yung nag-a-arise from business combination na i-discuss natin in AFAR. Okay? Yun lang yung allowed na meron kang goodwill. Actually, ang tawag dyan sa goodwill is unidentifiable intangible assets. Okay? Now, hindi yan subject to amortization. Meron niyang indefinite useful life. Therefore, required ka na i-test yan every December 31. Okay, others, lahat yan, nilamp ko sa others, subject yan to amortization. Ibig sabihin, ititest mo yan for impairment if there are indicators. Okay, so ayan. So yan yung dapat maalala mo sa intangible assets. Now, sir, meron ka bang techniques dyan? Of course. Okay, 3 steps for intangible assets. Number 1, prepare a T account. Okay? Now, ang difference ng T account nito, class, compared sa PPE. Sa PPE kasi meron kang cost and accumulated depreciation. For intangible assets, hindi mo na separately pine-present yung accumulated amortization. Okay? So, diretsong kine-credit mo yung intangible assets. Though, acceptable naman na meron kang accumulated amortization. Pero by default, diretso mo na kine-credit yung intangible assets. Therefore, yung T account na prepare natin dito is using carrying amount. Unlike sa PPE na may cost and accumulated depreciation separately, sa intangible asset, isa lang, carrying amount lang. Okay? And then second nating class is prepare journal entries. As you prepare journal entries, make sure na ipopost mo siya sa T account. And then number 3 is we test for impairment. So again, ang focus ng audit of intangible assets, one of its focus is on impairment testing. Okay? Sige. Class, let's go to problem number 1. Let's go to the questions first. Number 1, what is the correct carrying value of the patent as of December 31, 2025? So from the question, alam mo na about intangible assets. So dapat maalala mo yung techniques natin, yung 3 steps. Okay? And also, sabi dyan, December 31, 2025. So ibig sabihin, yun yung year-end natin. Alright? Sige. Let's read the problem. Okay, problem 1. The following account balances are excerpt from Pinnacle Corporation's trial balance for the audit period ended December 31, 2024. Okay, so you have patent, licensing agreement, trademark, and leasehold improvements. So basically, binigay sa atin is December 31, 2024, and we know yung year-end natin is 2025. Ibig sabihin, beginning balances yan. Okay? And sa techniques natin, yung number 1 dyan, prepare na agad tayo ng T-account. So pag may nakita kang ganyan, T-accounts agad. So ganito gagawin ko dyan. So I'll prepare T-accounts for patent. Next, licensing agreement, LA na lang, licensing agreement. Next natin is trademark, TM na lang siya. And then, last one is leasehold improvements. Actually, class, yung leasehold improvements, we know na PPE yan, hindi yan intangible assets. So later, i-correct natin yan. Alright? Now, binigyan tayo ng amounts, ilagay natin sa T-accounts natin yan. 4,940,000 for the patent. So, ikakopy ko lang yung given sa problem. 1,920,000 for the licensing agreement. For the trademark, 1,606,000. And for the leasehold improvements, 1.3 million. Okay, so let's read the audit notes. Audit note A. The patent for Pinnacle's manufacturing process was acquired on January 1, 2024 at a cost of 3,740,000. So in-acquire siya January 1, 2024, December 31, 2025 ngayon, 2 years ago yan. Tama? Now, an additional amount of 1,387,000 was spent on December 31, 2024 for repairs on machinery covered by the patent and charge to the patent account. Mali yun. Dapat yung 1,387,000 na yan, chinarge yan sa repairs expense. Ang ginawa nung client, chinarge yan sa patent, kinapitalize to patent. So mali yun. Correct natin yan. Now, take note na nangyari yun December 31, 2024. Okay, which is last year. Now, sabi ko dito, yung second step natin is prepare journal entries, and as we journalize, ipopost natin sa T-accounts natin. Okay? So, dito ko lang class talagay yung journal entries para mas may space tayo doon. So, tayo dito, journal entries. Okay, doon muna tayo sa audit note A. So, yung first error na na-encounter natin class, basically, yung 1,387 dapat chinarge yan sa expense, hindi dapat sa patent. So, i-credit natin yung patent, bawasan natin. Credit patent na 1,387,000. Now, yung question ko dito class, ano yung ide-debit mo? Okay, so dapat chinarge yan sa repairs expense, tama? But we know in accounting, yung income statement items na from last period, kino-close yan to retained earnings. Okay, so ang nangyari dito, January 1, 2024, pa 2 years ago, na-close na to retained earnings yun. So wag mo ide-debit yung repairs expense. Dapat i-debit mo yan to retained earnings beginning. Okay, RE beginning, debit RE beginning, credit patent 1,387,000. Okay, yun yung entry mo dyan. Now, again, dapat i-post natin yan agad sa T-account. So, mag-credit tayo sa patent, 1,387,000. And then, ano pa yung mali dito? So, tingnan natin. Let's continue reading. The repairs were necessarily incurred to bring back the said machinery to its original working condition. So, kahit ganun. Basta repairs yan, expense mo yan. The useful life of the patent is its legal life of 20 years. Now, mag-compute tayo ng amortization for the patent. Ano dapat yung basis ng amortization natin? Yung 3,740,000. Okay? So, 3,740,000, i-divide natin yan by 20 years, yung useful life and legal life, that is 187,000. Next entry natin, dito na lang, debit amortization expense, credit patent. Again, hindi tayo separately nagpe-present na accumulated amortization, though acceptable yon, pero usually siya-charge na ito intangible asset, that is 187,000. Pag nag-amortize ka, post mo agad dito yan, 187,000. Gets? Okay, next. Audit note B, Pinnacle purchased a licensing agreement, this one, on January 1, 2023. So that is 3 years ago, okay? The licensing agreement account balance included the purchase price of 2,160 and 240,000 cost to train employees. At the inception of the licensing agreement, the license has been amortized over the agreement term, which is 10 years. Okay, ang mali dito yung cost of training employees. Expense yan. Okay, so ang gagawin natin, audit note B. So ang ginawa niya, para class madalian ka dun sa correcting entry natin. No? Ito, correcting entry yung kanina. Tignan mo yung ginawa niya, actual, i-compare mo sa should be. Okay, so tingnan natin. Yung actual na ginawa niya, chinarge niya sa licensing agreement. Dapat in-expense na yun. So i-correct natin. So now, bawasan natin yung licensing agreement. Credit LA na lang, licensing agreement for 240,000. Ano yung i-debit mo? Training expense ba yan? Hindi na. Kasi kailan nangyari yan? January 1, 2023, which is a prior period. Again, lahat ng income statement items, kinu-close yan sa retained earnings. Dati pa nangyari yan. Therefore, RE beginning. Debit RE beginning. Credit licensing agreement, that is 240,000. Okay, now, ito pa yung isang trick dito. Yung 240,000 na yan, kinapitalize yan 3 years ago. Okay? Therefore, ina-amortize yan. Tama? Ang ginawa ni client, ina-amortize din niya yung 240,000 for 10 years. Okay? So, i-correct din natin yun. Computing nga natin class, 240,000 divided, ganito nangyari dyan. Bigyan ko ng timeline. Ha? So, anong nangyari dyan? January 1, 2023. Okay? So, 12/31/2023. 12/31/2024, and 12/31/2025. Ayan. So, anong nangyari class? Ito yung binigay sa ating balance sa given. Therefore, 2 times siya nag-amortize ng yung 240,000, in-amortize siya ng 2 years. So, ang gagawin ko dyan, 240,000 divide by 10 times 2. Nakompute mo ba yung 48,000? Yes. So, ang ginawa niya, debit amortization expense, credit licensing agreement. Mali yun. So, balik ta rin natin. Okay? So, balik ko yung licensing agreement, debit licensing agreement, but instead of amortization expense, since last year pa yan, credit ka sa retained earnings beginning. Okay? That is 48,000. Sir, paano ulit na-compute yung 48,000? 240,000 divide by 10 times 2. Okay? Kasi dapat hindi mo in-amortize yan. Okay, syempre huwag mo rin kalimutan ilagyan ng entry yung amortization ng current year. So how much yung tamang amortization this year? Well, ang dapat kinapitalize lang is 2,160,000. Let's compute 2,160,000 divided by 10. That is 2,160,000. Debit amortization expense, credit licensing agreement, 2,160,000. Okay, so sa expense mo sinarge kasi current year yan. Yung mga last year, sa retained earnings mo i-charge siya. Okay, so post natin yan. So yung ito muna, nag-credit tayo ng 240,000. So lagay natin dito yan. And then, nag-debit tayo ng 48. And then, nag-credit tayo ng 216,000. Alright, so ganyan siya. Okay, kaya natin class yung mga questions. Doon tayo sa number 1 muna. Question 1, what is the correct carrying value of the patent? Actually, pwede natin computein yan. So, 4,940 minus 1,387,000 minus 187,000. Answer should be 3,366,000. 3,366,000. Answer natin class sa question 1 is letter A, 3,366,000. Let's go to question 2. What's the correct carrying value of the licensing agreement? Oh, compute natin. Beginning balance 1,920,000 plus 48 minus 240,000 minus 216,000. You get 1,512,000. Okay, 1,512,000. That is letter boy. Okay, question number 2, answer natin is boy. Okay, question number 3, what is the total retroactive adjustment to beginning retained earnings in 2025 related to licensing agreement? Tingnan natin yung journal entries natin. Kaya, very helpful pag may journal entry ka. Mas mabi-visualize mo, okay? Now, ang nangyari dito class, nag-debit tayo ng RE beginning 240, tapos nag-credit tayo ng 48. Ano yung net amount nun? Debit na 240, yung credit na 48. So, minus natin yan. 240 minus 48,000. Answer natin sa number 3 is letter C, 192,000. Tama? So, 240 na debit, and then minus 48 kasi credit yan. Answer natin sa number 3, letter C, 192,000. Gets? Okay. Let's continue. Let's go to audit note C. A trademark was purchased by Pinnacle for 1,280,000 on July 1, 2023. Expenditures for the successful litigation in defense of the trademark totaled 326,000 were paid on July 1 and were charged to the trademark account. Mali na yun. Yung mga defense na yan, yung cost, mga litigation na yan, expense as incurred yan. Hindi mo kinakapitalize yan. Okay? Therefore, sa audit note C, i-correct natin. So, ang ginawa niya, chinarge siya sa trademark, dinebit niya sa trademark. So, dapat hindi. Dapat in-expense niya yan. Tama? Kaya lang, kailan ba nangyari yan? Well, nangyari yan matagal na. July 1, hindi. This year lang pala. July 1, 2025. So, current year yan. Therefore, pwede mo pang i-charge yan sa income statement item. So, ang gagawin ko dyan, debit expense, okay, credit trademark, how much? 326,000. Alright, so i-post natin dito, 326,000. And then, compute natin yung tamang amortization. Debit amortization expense, credit trademark. Compute natin class. Sabi dyan, the trademark was estimated to have an indefinite life. Okay, so indefinite life, hindi ka pala mag-amortize dyan. Okay, indefinite life yan. Again, pag indefinite life, hindi ka subject to amortization. So, erase natin yan. Instead, subject ka to impairment testing. Alright, so tingnan natin. Let's continue reading. The trademark was estimated to have an indefinite life. By the end of 2025, the company estimated to generate annual net future cash flows from the continued use of trademark at 90,000. The prevailing market rate of interest was 9%. So ganito yung class. Iko-compare natin yung carrying amount and recoverable amount. Di ba ganun yung sa impairment? Tama? So ano yung carrying amount ng trademark natin? Well, 1606 minus 326. 1606 minus 326, carrying amount natin class is 1,280,000. Right? And then, compare natin sa recoverable amount. Pag mababa yung recoverable amount, well, may impairment tayo. Now, sir, how much yung recoverable amount dyan? For intangible assets, ganito yung class. Sa trademark, ang sabi dyan, indefinite life. Okay? Ibig sabihin, perpetual yung cash flows. Indefinite yung cash flows. Pag indefinite yung cash flows, ang formula, computation na recoverable amount is just cash flows over discount rate. Okay? Which is 9%. So, yung annual cash flow divided by the discount rate, yun yung recoverable amount. Okay? So, magtiwala na tayo dun. So, yun yung math dyan behind. Okay? So, 90,000 divided by 9%, you get 1 million. Alright? So, mas mababa yung recoverable amount, therefore, meron tayo 280,000 na impairment loss. Got it? Now, ang gagawin ko sa T account ko class, ang masusunod na dyan is the recoverable amount. Tama lang? So, may recoverable amount ka dito na 1 million, solve for X, na-solve na natin, impairment loss tayo na 280,000. Therefore, entry natin, debit impairment loss, credit, diretso natin sa trademark, 280,000. Okay. And then, tingnan natin class yung question. Number 4, what is the correct carrying value of the trademark? Oh, ito na yan. 1 million na yung sagot mo dyan. Huwag mo sasagot yung 1,280. Dapat yung lower amount, which is 1 million. Letter boy for number 4. Number 5, what is the total expense to be recognized in relation to the lease agreement? O, basahin natin. Audit note D. A 10-year non-renewable lease was signed on January 1, 2025, current year, okay? For the leased building that Pinnacle used in manufacturing operations. The leasehold improvement account includes 900,000 cost of improvements, which was completed on March 1, with a total estimated life of 5 years, and 400,000 lease rights paid for the exclusive right to occupy the leased property. So si Pinnacle siya yung lessee. Nagbayad siya ng 400,000, ang tawag doon, lease rights. Okay? So right to occupy the property. Tama? Now, dito, ang nangyari diyang class, sa 1.3 million na yan, okay, ang leasehold improvements mo na talaga dyan is 900,000. Tama? And then yung 400,000 lease rights yun. So, i-correct natin yan. Let's go to audit note D. Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Kasi yung buong 1.3 million, chinarge niya sa leasehold improvements. Mali yun, dapat 900,000 lang. Debit, lease rights, LR na lang. Credit, leasehold improvements, that is 400,000. Nire-classify ko lang. Okay, so ang gagawin ko dito, class, maglalagay ako ng additional T account. Okay, lease rights. So, binawasan natin ng 400 yung leasehold improvements. And then yung lease rights na dagdagan ng 400,000. Okay? Now, sige. So, na-correct na natin, which is current year. I-compute ngayon natin yung depreciation for the leasehold improvements and then yung amortization for lease rights. Again, yung leasehold improvements, PPE yan. So, compute natin class. 900,000 for the depreciation. Divide natin by 5, which is the useful life. Okay, divide by 5. Tapos, na-complete daw yung leasehold improvement March 1. So, multiply natin by 10 over 12 times 10 over 12. Depreciation natin, dapat na-compute mo is 150,000. Debit depreciation expense. Credit accumulated depreciation. Since PPE yan, gagamit ka na accumulated depreciation, 150,000. Sir, paano mo ulit na-compute yung 150,000? Sabayan nyo ako class ha, 900,000, which is yung leasehold improvements. Divide by 5 years, useful life, multiply natin by 10 over 12 kasi natapos March 1, okay? That is 150,000. Gets? So, maglagay tayo dito. Accumulated depreciation, how much? 150,000. Okay, so doon naman tayo sa lease rights. 400,000 yung cost natin dyan. And then, amortize natin yan. Debit amortization expense. And then, credit lease rights. Ilan? 400,000 divided by 10. 10 years yung lease. Okay, that is 40,000. 40,000. Okay, so credit natin to 40,000. Compute natin class yung carrying amount ng lease rights. 400 minus 40, that's 360,000. Okay, let's go to question number 5. What is the total expense to be recognized in relation to the lease agreement? Tingnan tayo sa entries natin. How much yung total expense? Well, isama mo yung depreciation expense yan. So, 150, and then yung amortization expense ng lease rights and 40. 150,000 plus 40, that's 190,000. Answer natin sa question 5 is boy, 190,000. Okay? And then, number 6, what is the total carrying amount of intangible assets? I-total lang natin. So, ayan, yung mga naka-underline. Doon muna tayo sa patent, 3,366,000, add natin class ha. Plus sa licensing agreement, 1,512,000. Plus sa trademark natin, 1 million. Huwag mo isasama yung leasehold improvements ha. Ang isama mo dyan, yung lease rights. Kasi intangible asset yan. Plus 360,000, you should answer letter boy, 6238,000. Nakuha niyan? Okay, so that's letter B for question number 6. So, ayan. So, ganun lang kasimple. Actually, medyo tinagalan ko lang yung discussion kasi problem 1 yan. But basically, ang ginawa natin, nung nabasa natin yung questions, alam natin na intangible assets. So, tatlo yan. T-account, don't forget na wala ka ng separate na accumulated amortization. So, carrying amount yung ginamit natin for the T-account. So, ibig sabihin, ang implication niya, lahat ng amortization mo, okay, credit ka. Okay? And then, journal entries, well, actually, hindi naman necessary yung journal entries for this particular problem, pero naging guide natin yung journal entries para sa T-accounts natin and yung para mas madali mag-analyze ng problem. But again, pag wala naman tinanong sa problem na journal entries, kahit di mo na ito gawin. Okay? And also, very important class, pag yung error nangyari prior period, sa retained earnings beginning mo siya i-charge. Okay? Pag yung error nangyari sa current period, pwedeng sa income statement item mo siya i-charge. Alright? So, huwag mong kalimutan yan. And then, leasehold improvements, PPE yan. Hindi siya intangible asset. That's why hindi natin siya sinama. And last point siguro, class, ito lang. Yung pag-compute na recoverable amount, pag indefinite useful life, pag perpetuity o perpetual yung cash flows, annual cash flows over yung discount rate. Okay, yun yung formula doon. Okay, so bahala na yung mga mathematicians kung paano nila na-derive yun. But basically, ganoon mag-compute ng recoverable amount. Okay, sige. So that's for problem 1. Let's go to problem number 2. So as you notice, parang PPE approach lang din tayo. Okay? Problem number 2 is about impairment. Okay, yun ang focus ng problem number 2. Sige, this is the last problem. Let's go to the questions muna. Number 7, what is the total amortization expense? Number 8, what is the total loss on impairment? Number 9, goodwill, and so on and so forth. So, erase ko na lang to. And then, may enough space naman tayo dito. So, tingnan natin. For problem number 2, let's read the given. ABC Company reported the following intangibles in its December 31, 2024. Beginning balances na naman. Kasi, chinek natin sa questions, ang tanong dyan, 2025. So, yung year-end natin is December 31, 2025. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong beginning balances. Pag nakita mo yan, T-account ka agad. Okay? So, magti-T-account ako sa patent, which is 200,000. I-copy ko lang. And then, we have copyright, which is 400. Alright? Trademark, how much? 350,000. And then, meron pang dalawa. Computer software is 100,000. Last one is goodwill. Okay, goodwill natin is 900,000. Okay. Sige, let's go to, let's go to audit notes. Okay, the company's accountant determines that the patent has an expected life of 10 years and no expected residual value. By the way, class, for intangible assets, usually yan, by default, walang residual value. Okay, zero. Now, sabi ito, yung patent daw 10 years, huwag mong kalimutan na i-compare yan sa legal life na 20 years. Since shorter yan, so safe tayo na 10 years yung amortization ng patent natin. Okay, and it will generate approximately equal benefits each year. On the other hand, the copyright and trademark have a legal life of 50 years and 10 years. Okay, dun muna tayo sa patent. Now, i-amortize na natin yan. So, 200,000, divide natin by 10 years kasi yun yung life niya. Okay, 20,000. So, maglagay na ako ng 20,000 dyan. Therefore, ayan. So, yun yung amortization natin for the patent. Let's continue reading. On the other hand, the copyright and trademark have a legal life of 50 years and 10 years, but the company expects to use the copyright and trademark for the foreseeable future. Class, ano yung ibig sabihin ng last sentence na yan, or phrase na yan? But the company expects to use the copyright and trademark for the foreseeable future. Ibig sabihin yan, indefinite useful life yan. Okay? Pag indefinite useful life, huwag mo i-amortize. Ayan, no? X. Huwag mo i-amortize. Okay? Pero pag definite, i-amortize mo. Pero dito, sinabi indefinite siya, itetest lang natin yan for impairment. Gets? Okay. Next, the accountant knows that the computer software has been used by the company in 120 sales offices. And the company has replaced the computer software in 60 offices in 2025 and expects to replace the software in 40 more offices in 2026 and the remainder in 2026. Sir, ano ibig sabihin yan? Ang implication, class, nung sentence na yan is that ang rule kasi natin sa amortization, straight line yan. Tama? Pero, if kaya natin makita yung pattern of economic benefits, yun yung basis natin sa amortization. Okay? So, yung computer software dito, na merong carrying amount na 100,000, ang gagawin ko dyan, class, 100,000, kasi 2025 pinag-uusapan natin, times 60, kasi 60 yung gagamitin sa 2025, i-divide natin sa total na 120, makukuha mo dyan 50,000. Na-compute mo yan? So, amortization ng computer software natin, ulitin ko, 100,000 times 60 over 120. That is 50,000. Sir, bakit ulit ganun? Again, ulitin ko, ang default, straight line. Pero pag pinakita yung pattern of economic benefits like this one, well, ipoprorate mo according dun sa benefits. Gets? Okay. Sige, let's continue reading. On December 31, there are no indications of impairment of the patent and computer software. So, yung patent and computer software, wala daw any indicators for impairment. Therefore, hindi natin kailangan i-test for impairment. Okay, letter A. Because of the rampant piracy, the copyright is expected to generate cash flows of just 8,000 per year. Doon tayo kay copyright. Carrying amount niya is 400. Tama? So, lagay natin dito, carrying amount, 400,000. And then, ano yung recoverable amount niya? Recoverable amount, again, indefinite useful life yan. Paano natin gumbitin yun? Annual cash flows over discount rate. So, how much yung annual cash flows? 8,000. 8,000, tingin ka dun sa baba, sabi dyan yung discount rate is 5%. Okay, 8,000 divided by 0.05. Na-compute mo ba, class, yung 160,000? Yes? 160,000. And therefore, mas mababa yung recoverable amount than the carrying amount. Minus natin sa 400, meron tayong impairment loss na 240,000. Alright? Now, ang gagawin natin dyan, class, yung ending balance ng copyright mo is now the recoverable amount. Tama? 160,000. Therefore, solve for X, ito yung impairment natin, 240,000. Easy. Yeah? So, pero ingat ka, class, ha? Pag mas mataas yung recoverable amount, wala kang impairment doon. So, dito mas mababa, kaya ganyan nangyari sa atin. Gets? Okay. Next, letter B. Trademark is expected to generate cash flows of 15,000 per year. Trademark has an indefinite useful life. Therefore, i-test natin for impairment yan. Carrying amount is 350,000. How much yung recoverable amount? Okay. Now, 15,000 divided by 5%, the discount rate, you should get 300,000. Okay, 300,000. For this one, so baba na naman yung recoverable amount. Therefore, meron tayong 50,000 na impairment loss. Alright, so punta tayo sa T account. Siyempre, ang ilalagay mo na ending balance is the lower amount, the recoverable amount of 300,000. Okay, impairment loss natin is 50,000 for the trademark. Okay. And then letter C, the goodwill is associated with one of ABC's reporting unit. The cash flows generated by the reporting unit is 200,000 per year for the next 25 years. The reporting unit is a carrying amount of 2.1 million excluding goodwill. Actually, yung concept na to, if maalala mo sa FAR, ito yung merong CGU, yung cash generating unit. So, ang ginagawa ng class, yung bulk ng assets and liabilities, okay, combined assets and liabilities, netest natin for impairment. Pag merong impairment loss, babawas muna natin, i-charge muna natin first sa goodwill. Naalala niyo yan, yung CGU? Ganun gagawin natin sa letter C. Take note class, ang difference dito, kung makikita mo, yun tayo sa goodwill. Tingnan natin yung carrying amount class. Yung carrying amount, again, kinukonsider mo yung assets and liabilities. Sabi dyan, 2.1 million. Okay? Sa carrying amount, wag mo ilalagay yung 900. Hindi yan. Kasama yung assets and liabilities. 2.1 million, isama mo yung goodwill, so yung total carrying amount natin is 3 million. Gets ba yan? Okay, now, the recoverable amount naman class, sabi dyan, 200,000 per year for the next 25 years. 200,000, wag mo yun i-divide by 5%. Mali yun. Kasi magdi-divide ka lang ng 5% kapag perpetual yung cash flows, pag indefinite. Dito, definite yan kasi 25 years. Tama? Imu-multiply mo siya dun sa present value of ordinary annuity for 25 periods. Nakita mo yung difference? Yung copyright and trademark, indefinite yan. Kaya di-divide natin yung discount rate. Sa goodwill, definite yan, 25 years. Kaya mu-multiply mo yan sa present value of ordinary annuity. Gets? Okay. 200,000 times. Given sa baba, yung present value factor, 14.0939. Na-compute mo ba yung 2818780? Okay? So that's the recoverable amount. 2818780. Obviously, the recoverable amount is less than the carrying amount. The difference is 181,220. That is your impairment loss. 181,220. Now, ganito mangyayari dyan, class. Yung impairment loss na na-compute natin na 181,220, kung maalala mo yung FAR sa CGU, lahat yan i-charge mo muna sa goodwill. Kaya naman ma-absorb ng goodwill lahat yan. Kasi 900,000 yan, 181 lang yung impairment loss natin. So 181,220, ending balance ng goodwill natin, 900,000 minus 181,220, 718, 780. Okay. Okay yan. So ganyan siya. Tingnan natin class yung mga questions. Okay na tayo sa question number 7, no? Question number 7, hindi pa yata. Question number 7, what is the total amortization expense to be recognized on the intangible assets? Well, dalawa lang naman yung in-amortize natin. Yung patent na 20,000 and yung computer software na 50. So 20 plus 50, answer natin sa number 7 is boy, 70,000. Number 8, what is the total loss on impairment? O isa-isay natin. 240 sa copyright, 50,000 sa trademark, and 181,220 for the goodwill. Add natin yung tatlo na yung class. 240,000 plus 50,000 plus 181,220. Your answer should be letter C, 471,220. Okay, total impairment loss. Number 9, what is the carrying amount of goodwill? Okay, ito na. 718,780. That is letter boy, 718,780. Number 10, what is the carrying amount of the patent? Okay, so 200,000 yung original natin minus 20. Therefore, carrying amount niya is 180,000, letter B or boy. Number 11, what is the carrying amount of the copyright? Ito, na-compute na natin earlier, which is the recoverable amount. Okay, 160,000, boy yung sagot natin for number 11. Number 12, what is the carrying amount of the trademark? Well, that's also your recoverable amount, 300,000, boy for number 12. And then number 13, what is the carrying amount of the computer software? Original natin is 100, nag-amortize tayo ng 50, therefore, ending balance mo is 50. Answer natin, 50,000. Letter C for number 13. Okay, so ganun lang. For problem number 2 class, siguro ang gusto kong i-highlight dito, na-solve natin siya without journal entries. Okay? So, syempre sa board exam, mas okay talaga kung hindi ka na mag-journal entries para mas mabilis ka. Pero kapag kailangan, at least alam mo pa rin kung paano mag-journal entries. And also, ang gusto kong i-highlight for problem number 2 is the computation of the recoverable amount. Ulit-ulitin ko, pag indefinite life, annual cash flows over discount rate. Yun yung ginawa natin for copyright and trademark. Pag definite life, example natin ito, the goodwill, sinabi na ang cash flows mo is 25 years lang, multiply mo sa PV factor. Kaya na-compute natin to. And also double check mo din kasi minsan ang trick dito, mas mataas pala yung recoverable amount than the carrying amount. So in that case, wala kang impairment loss. Alright? And then using the T accounts, na-compute natin class yung ending balances, and usually yun yung mga tinatanong sa problem sa intangible assets. Ano daw yung mga audited balances for each of the intangible assets. Okay? So that's it for audit of intangible assets.